such thing as a lead in Tekken. Got to. Oh, there we go.
Just trying to find my way through the game, and there started this rivalry between me and Kinder Party, but also Kinder Party and Static, and because of that, there was a bit of a rivalry between me and Static. Originally, when we met, we were constantly just 3-0ing each other. The next time we ended up playing after that, he had dropped Rocket Raccoon for Dr. Doom, and then his team became way more cohesive. He was traveling and playing with everybody like a hungry madman, and all of a sudden there was a huge separation in between our skill levels.
Yeah, this is a first of 5. So.
I'll let them know in a minute. When I see Shuma go Rav getting his ass kicked on incoming, I'm gonna go over there.
Yeah, so like at one point I started figuring Kinder Party out. Kinder Party was starting to have Static's number, and Static obviously had my number. So there was kind of like this, like, for a short period of time, almost a rock, paper, scissors going on. And then Kinder Party and Static continued to improve, and then they kept just beating each other back and forth. So there was like this insane rivalry.
Trying to build some space for himself. It's not taking. That's the risk with that kind of a strategy. They know you're going to hard tag, so you can't just do it. Shouldn't this be pretty hard on like a tiny body? Or harder?
And that's why he did the one jab and said, typically you do two. Oh, wow.
Oh, no.
So now...
That's very bad for Static Alpha.
Yeah, Kinder Party gets his powered up assist.
Any game Airborne plays, does not matter. He's going to look stuff up. He's going to know, like, if you push a button and he pushes a button and he gets hit, it's not a, why did you press the button? It's a, why did that hit me circumstance. It's not, oh, he's bad because he mashed, because that's what a lot of people would say. Oh, he woke up with this button, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, well, I tried to time my meaty with this and he did this and it traded. Or I tried to do my meaty with this and he did this and it hit me clean. Why did that happen? He's the type of dude that'll go in the lab, figure it out, and then come back. And the next time somebody asks, it's like he'll be in the corner. He's like the kid in the corner, and he's like, "Oh, yo, you asked the right question? Okay, here's the answer that I got." And you're like, "Dude, I didn't need to know all that. I just need to know this one piece." And he's like, "Well, in case you needed to know the rest of it."
Firm up for anything. He can hit you with an F, go take a dump, and come right back out, and he'll still get a combo. Jesus Christ.
My life is on repeat. I'm so tired of losing sleep. Maybe one day I'll see.
Oh yeah, shout out to old Static Alpha. Oh yeah, I remember. I knew when I first played Brandon. They were still playing Rocket Raccoon at the time, so the team hadn't been fully developed yet. And I just knew, because I was on the road much more than Brandon was at the time, so more people knew who I was, and I'd been to EVO, or I was going to EVO, and I had been to Final Round, and I was doing all these things.
I was like, look, I'm playing Viper, and I'm playing Rocket, and I'm playing Strider, and I don't give a crap. It's happening. I put Rocket in the back, which, no. You don't put Rocket in the back. Full Viper combos into Seismo Super, the loop into the air. And then my dumb face was DHC into Strider's Legion. Like, you want to talk about no damage? Barely anybody ever died ever if his name wasn't Zero or Phoenix. It was a complete waste of time. I would do it, and I'm like, well, it didn't kill. And then that person would just be like, I'm going to get my point character out and heal. And I'm like, great, all the work I do is for nothing. Because I was playing like that. I was having to play the game like twice as hard as the guy I was fighting against, because when they hit me, they would just kill me, I
was like, oh my god, you're like good. I was a Marvel 2 player, so it makes sense. I was like, okay, you drop this raccoon, you'd be like really good.
But it wasn't until running into Kinder Party that kind of shifted, because he would touch you and kill you, and he was playing who he wanted to play. He wanted to run Arthur, right? But he had the shell in the correct order. So he got to do every single thing that he wanted to do all the time. regardless if that meant he was playing Wolverine or if he was playing Taskmaster, you know, it didn't matter, or Spencer, however he wanted to do it. Everything still checked out for him. So like, he was the first player around me in the Kentucky area that was like, I'm doing what I want, but however order I'm doing it in, I get to kill you.
What did you think about Airborne making you? Did Airborne make you sweat in Marvel just a little bit?
Airborne is definitely good. He was making me sweat. To be honest, he should have won winners finals. I got lucky. He dropped the combo, pretty much the game-winning combo.
And then they kept just beating each other back and forth. So there was like this insane rivalry, and just me just like trying to grab onto whatever coattails or whatever I could, trying to just keep up.
Nice. We got Static versus Airborne. Really?
Yeah,
are they playing?
Yeah, they are.
Damn.
I know.
That's the way it goes. That's the way it
We
is.
didn't control for any kind of team kills or regions in this
I mean,
tournament.
everybody's here is on the same team and from the same region, so
That's true.
it's kind of, there's a lot of blue jerseys.
Those were the only two players that were in my sight, so I was kind of just seeing red the entire time, trying to catch up. Yeah, it's just there was like this kind of triad of competition, and then we got to the point where I graduated college, was trying to find a job, specifically in Louisville, because I was trying to become an actuary, so I was trying to find a healthcare job. And I ended up moving to Louisville, and that's when me and Static started playing every single day. And you know, he was already a dominant force, basically one of the top 3 already at the point of the entire Midwest, where it was you know, once Kinder Party stopped playing as much because he was doing the podcast.
Mysterious little rodents. Like, I had to make sure I X-factored that character every time I got a hit. Like, I didn't care. Like, I felt like that was by far all of their best characters. So it was cool kind of fighting them.
I don't like that character to begin with. A really good player from around here in Kentucky, Static Alpha, used to main Rocket Raccoon, and it gave me all kinds of fits. So I really don't want to talk about Rocket Raccoon anymore. We're moving on to this.
I was slowly feeding some like quantitative analytics their way to try to hype up some statistics and everything. Static and I were practicing like crazy. I started to find my groove a little bit. Somewhere in between came Blue River, stayed with Kinder Party for a week and busted all our asses. But that's neither here nor there. But that's when I truly started to level up, and where I was actually truly able to travel to tournaments, because I finally became independent. Was no longer under the roof of my parents, lived on my own, could, you know, do as I pleased, and that's when I truly started to level up. And as Kinder Party and Static were bringing all that new skill and all that new understanding of the game and just fighting games in general back to the state, I was able to finally start contributing that as well. And then that happened to be the final year of Marvel 3.